I used to believe in love. I used to think that marriage meant something, that the vows we took actually mattered. But looking back, I realize how blind I was. It started with small things. Things I told myself were just normal relationship ups and downs. Claire had always been a little self-centered, a little too concerned with how she looked to others, but I figured that was just who she was. I never thought she was capable of betrayal, but I was wrong. The first sign was the distance. She started pulling away, her affection becoming forced, almost mechanical. The way she kissed me felt different, like she was just going through the motions. Then came the late nights. She always had a reason. Work, dinner with friends, much-needed girls' night. I wanted to believe her. I really did. But then, I saw it. She had left her phone on the kitchen counter while she was in the shower. It buzzed once, twice, then again. Curiosity got the best of me. I picked it up, and there it was, a text from an unsaved number. Last night was amazing. I can't stop thinking about you. My heart stopped. I scrolled up, my hands shaking. The messages were explicit, filled with things Claire had never said to me. She had been cheating, and she had been stupid enough to leave the proof right in front of me. I put her phone back exactly where I found it. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Because I wasn't just going to catch her. I was going to destroy her. I started paying attention. Claire thought she was being careful, but people like her, reckless, arrogant, selfish, always make mistakes. She still used our shared credit card, leaving behind hotel charges, fancy dinners, and late-night ride shares to the same address over and over again. I memorized that address. I checked her location history, and I found out everything I needed to know. His name was Ryan, a divorced businessman, 10 years older, with the kind of money that made him think he could have whatever he wanted, including my wife. I tracked every meeting, every reservation, and every single time she snuck away to be with him. Then I found the perfect night. She had booked a hotel room downtown, a 5-star place she had never even mentioned before. The reservation was for 2. She was meeting him. I finally had proof. Now, it was time for revenge. She had no idea I was following her. She had no idea that when she walked into that hotel lobby, I was only steps behind her, watching her smile at the receptionist, take the room key, and head toward the elevator. She had no idea that when she walked into that room, she was walking into a trap. I waited exactly 30 minutes, long enough for them to feel comfortable, long enough for them to think they had gotten away with it. Then, I took the elevator up, walked down the hall, and knocked. There was silence on the other side. Then, Claire's voice. "Did you order room service already?" I clenched my fists. The door cracked open, and there he was, Ryan, shirtless, smirking like he had just won some kind of prize. His face changed the second he saw me. I shoved the door open and walked inside. Claire was sitting on the bed, wearing nothing but a silk robe. Her eyes widened, and she froze. "And Nathan?" she stammered, her face going pale. I shut the door behind me. The tension in the room was suffocating. Neither of them spoke. They were waiting for me to explode, to yell, to hit someone, to break something. But I didn't. I reached into my coat pocket and pulled out a thick envelope. I tossed it onto the bed, right in front of Claire. "Open it," I said quietly. Her hands trembled as she picked it up. She pulled out the papers inside and began to flip through them. Hotel receipts, screenshots of texts, call logs, photos. Every lie she had ever told me, documented, printed, undeniable. Claire let out a strangled gasp as she reached the last page. Her eyes filled with tears. "Nathan, please." I held up a hand. "You don't get to beg. You don't get to explain. You made your choice." Ryan shifted uncomfortably. "Look, man, I didn't know." "Shut the hell up," I said, my voice deadly calm. Ryan shut his mouth. Claire reached for me, but I stepped back. "You thought you were being so careful," I said, shaking my head. "But you were just sloppy. You thought I'd never find out. But guess what?" I leaned in, lowering my voice so that only she could hear me. "I knew weeks ago." Her breath hitched. I smiled. "And now, so does everyone else." Her face twisted in pure horror. She grabbed her phone. She had seen the email. I had sent everything, the proof, the messages, the photos, to her family, friends, and every single person she ever lied to, including Ryan's ex-wife. Claire let out a broken sob. "Nathan," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "You ruined me." I nodded. "Now you know how it feels." Then I walked out. I didn't look back, because Claire's life was already in ruins. She tried to call me. She tried to apologize. But I was done. She lost everything. Ryan? Gone. The moment his ex-wife found out, he dropped Claire like a bad investment. Her family disowned her. Her friends disappeared. She begged me to reconsider, but all I did was sign the divorce papers and watch her world fall apart. Claire thought she could have everything. Now, she had nothing. And I never looked back. Thank you for listening to the story to the end. Please like, share your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel.